All right, fair use, fair use. It's your brother Wal Rumya. I'm back with another lesson, Lord, willing to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Wahab Rakakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Also in the correct doctrine. On the center, Shalom to the one-third men, women, and the children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua by their faith. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful times we're living in as we are truly seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and our enemies are falling right before our eyes. Got a couple of videos I want to play, and Lord willing to be edifying. Let's get with this one.
We let in, mind you, immigrants from Africa, Ethiopian Jews, who come into this country. I think it's the first time that we have actually transported black Africans from Africa, not to enslave them, but in fact to liberate them.
So it's a wordplay, wordplay, and you can't say too much about them, but wordplay. And let me play it one more time. If you can't catch it, listen to it a couple times so you can catch it. Because what he's speaking about is they transported black Africans before for slavery, but this time they didn't.
Mind you, immigrants from Africa, Ethiopian Jews, who come into this country. I think it's the first time that we have actually transported black Africans from Africa, not to enslave them, but in fact to liberate them.
So he's insinuating before they transported black Africans for slavery, but now they didn't do it. And this right here is just a video showing you that what he's speaking about is the history that our people had to go through.
Island, known for its haunting history connected to slavery, is only a 30-minute boat ride from the city of Dakar. Gore Island was one of many slave trading posts along the West African coast during the transatlantic slave trade. Gore Island is home to less than 2,000 residents, with some of them being descendants of enslaved people. On this island, you'll find Maison des Esclaves, which directly translates to House of Slaves. This house held men, women, and children in chains, just steps away from the ocean that would steal them forever. As a Senegalese American who frequents this island, I am overwhelmed with the feelings of sadness and grief. Although today Gore Island is home to artists, family, and storytellers, some descended from the enslaved, others from traders, all of them live in the shadow of its history. They call this the door of no return. Enslaved Africans were led through these doors onto ships headed across the Atlantic from their homes, their families, their continent. It is one of the most emotional places I've been to in Senegal, a symbol of pain, resilience, and memory. Now, as you step out of the House of Slaves, you'll be greeted with coral-colored walls and pastel homes, kids playing on the streets, and friendly locals. This island does have schools, hospitals, mosques, and even a church. As a U.S. citizen, it will cost you about $10 to get to the island, and to enter the House of Slaves will cost you about $2.50. At the entrance of the island, you'll see several restaurants, but one restaurant that I really recommend is Chez Cho. I've eaten here several times, and their jollof rice is delicious. Also have delicious beef skewers. Now, in order to leave the island, the ferry does leave every 30 minutes. This island is a must visit when you're in Senegal.
So basically, I'll play the video. I hope you can hear it. But Senegal was one of the ports, Gore Islands. I think it's Gore Island out of Senegal. Was one of the places that was one of the gates of no return. It is an island that they transported slaves from to send them to the Americas, and that goes to show you that our people was a part of the slave trade. You see, now you got this thing where the Jakes are now saying that we didn't come from Africa. They can't show you any slave ships, which is it's stupid, man. And like I said, it's some Israelites was already here, and Israelites came from the west coast of Africa, man. This is all in the scriptures, man. This is all biblical prophecy for this to happen. So you can't say that we didn't come from the west coast of Africa, because we still have relics and also history coming from the islands that we was taken from as slaves. Now, not saying anything about DNA, because everything is spiritual. We know for a fact through the spirit that we are the Israelites. But this is just an example of if you were to trace your history back to those countries, you will see that we are tied to the west coast of Africa because we fled into the west coast of Africa during 70 AD. And this is just an example of if we was to do a DNA test, we could do a DNA test to show you that we are the children of Israel, man. Because our history is backed up with the scriptures. Now you see, this is Judge. They're gonna say it. Let me play it.
Judge Hatchett, we have matched your bloodline with two distinct ethnic groups from West Africa, the Usé and the Yoruba. Both groups currently live in Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. Around 1000 AD, the Usé established themselves as prosperous trans-Saharan traders of gold, ivory, and dyed cloths. And by the 15th century, Usé land had become one of the most important and wealthy trading centers in all of Africa. Your other ancestors, the Yoruba people located in southern Nigeria and Benin, are one of Sub-Sahara's most famous and prolific art-producing cultures. The Yoruba community was the center for ivory and wood carving, as well as terracotta and cast metal sculptures. In addition to their unique art, the Yoruba people are also known for their proverbs and spiritual.
And it's just like an example. Like I said, if you wanted to trace your history back, you could. And like I said, you don't need to, because the Spirit bear witness that we are the children of Israel. Now, Judge Hatchett, her tribe is Judah. She'll be a Judite. She'll be a Jew. And the history of the west coast of Africa, Benin, was it Benin? It shows you on the map, if you look at an older ancient map, it says the tribe of Judah. It says Wahuda, which we know that's Judah. And it says when you on the slave posters, it says Hebo. And I mean, it's easy to Google. You can get all in the detail of it. But the point is that we are the true children of Israel, man. The true Jews of the scriptures. Now check this out.
And burping. So in praying for these African American and Jewish people and African American Hebrews is what I call them, just to make it a simple statement and remind myself every morning, I call it Dja, okay? Jews and African American Hebrews. Many of these African American people are now considering themselves as Israelites. And I had a huge skepticism about that in the beginning, but the more I listen into some of the historical facts, the more I believe it is true. And perhaps this is why the Lord wanted me to pray for the African American people.
See, now people are looking at our videos and they're seeing that what they're preaching and prophesying is the truth. There's no more debating. We don't have to debate with vocab and these Christian apologists. We know for a fact that who we are, because the children of Israel are backed up by the history of the Bible, man. And no one can take that from us, because no one other nation or people suffered what we suffered, and it can't be compared to any other nation. And see, the children of Israel are going to be redeemed. The elect of the children of Israel, I'll say it like that, because 2/3 of our people are going to be left in the soils of Babylon the Great to be destroyed. And no other nation can compare their history to ours.
We talk about American slavery, there's always somebody who feels the need to say, the Irish were slaves too. And that is where the conversation goes wrong. Because while Irish people experienced indentured servitude, they were not chattel slaves. And those two systems are not the same. Not morally, not legally, not historically. Indentured servitude was temporary. Chattel slavery was permanent. Indentured servitude signed contracts often under economic pressure, deception, or punishment. Those contracts typically lasted 4 to 7 years. At the end of that term, the person was legally free. They could own land. They could marry freely. They could pass property to their children. Their children were born free. Chattel slavery was for life. Black people were not considered human beings under the law. They were property. They could be bought, sold, insured, raped, bred, beaten, or killed with little to no legal consequence. And most importantly, their children inherited their enslaved status, generation after generation. That is the distinction. Now let's talk about race, because race is not ancient. Race was constructed. Early in the colonial period, poor Europeans, including Irish indentured servants and enslaved Africans, worked alongside each other. And yes, slave owners were terrified of unity. They were afraid that poor whites and enslaved blacks would realize that they had more in common with each other than with the ruling class. So the system adapted. Laws were created to divide people permanently, not by class, but by race. This is where whiteness was birthed. Irish people were not always considered white. They were viewed as inferior, uncivilized, and expendable, but over time they were granted conditional access to whiteness, not equality with the ruling class, but superiority over black people. And that mattered, because even when Irish indentured servants were mistreated, they still had a path out. They could eventually become free. They could assimilate. They could gain legal rights. They could vote. They could own land. They could become overseers, police, or enforcers of the system. Black people could not. That hierarchy alone created incentive. Now let's address another lie that always gets thrown out. Your own people sold you. Africans did not sell their people in the way that this is framed today. Africa was not a single country. These were tribal conflicts, wars, and captures, just like wars in Europe. No one understood that the people being taken were being sold into a permanent hereditary system of racialized slavery across the ocean. There was no concept of chattel slavery as it would exist in the Americas. And even if there were African intermediaries, that does not absolve the system that created, expanded, codified, and profited from the most brutal form of slavery the modern world has ever known. Chattel slavery was unique because it was racial, it was permanent, it was inheritable, it was legally protected, and it was designed to extract labor while stripping identity, lineage, culture, and humanity. So when people try to equate struggles, what they're really doing is minimizing the truth. You can acknowledge that other groups suffered without erasing what made Black American slavery distinct. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with some. So in autumn.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to make this point. She didn't really clarify it, because it wasn't black people warring against black, so-called black people. It was the Israelites warring against the Hamites. And the Hamites took us as prisoners of war and sold us over to the Grecians. I mean, you can get that in Joel. But the point is, no one suffered the slavery that we suffered. And it's basically chattel slavery. Is no other nation of people suffered chattel slavery. As like she explained, it was permanent. And see, it was a form of slavery in the ancient world. Our forefather Jacob had to labor for his wives from his uncle. But chattel slavery, like she was saying, chattel slavery was permanent. It was based on racism. That's why it was formed the way it was formed, and that's why the people still feel like they are over the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, because we had to suffer the slavery that we did. Now, Esau knew that what he did was against the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah. And he will suffer the same way that he made us to suffer. Let me get this real quick, because it wasn't meant for us to be in the hands of Esau the way we was. But Esau took it farther than what it was supposed to be. This is, let me get this in the King James. This is Zechariah 1 and verse 14. He says, so the angel that communed with me said unto me, cry out, so like a cry thou, saying, thus say Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. I am sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased with and they helped forward my affliction. So he was a little displeased with the children of Israel. And this is speaking of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But Esau forwarded the affliction. Therefore, thus say Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercy. My house shall be built in it, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, thus say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah shall yet comfort Zion and shall yet choose Jerusalem. So of all the things we've been through, and Esau forwarded the affliction, he forwarded it. He went farther than what he was supposed to do. So now that the Lord is showing mercy to us, Esau is going to have to suffer for what he did to us. This is NLT. It says, but I am very angry with the other nations that are now enjoying peace and security. And you know what the Lord, the scripture saying, was it 1 Thessalonians 3 or 5 and 3? When they shall say peace and security, then sudden destruction. It says, I was only but a little angry with my people, but the nations inflicted harm on them far beyond my intentions. See, they went too far. They castrated us, cut babies out of our stomach, our women's stomach. And he took it too far, man. And see, the Lord's wrath is going to be on Esau, man. And he can't get out of it. Good News Translation, it says, and I am very angry with the nations that enjoy quiet and peace. And that's what Esau has done. He's enjoyed quiet and peace. But he went through the nations and conquered them. It says, for while I was holding back my anger against my people, those nations made the suffering of my people worse. And see, he has to answer for that, man. And see, Esau think he's got out of the wrath of the Lord. That he can boast himself in his pride, thinking the Lord is never going to judge him for what he's done to his people, man. Which the children of Israel is who the people that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah loves, man. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 10. And this is coming to Esau, man. But I have made Esau bare. See, all the wickedness that he's hid is being revealed. I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He's being revealed, man, to be the wicked. And he shall not be able to hide himself. See, all the hiding behind the witchcraft is over with, man. We see him as who he really is, and that's the wicked. His seed is spoiled in his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. See, Esau is made bare. He can't hide himself anymore. And he's been revealed to the elect. But 2/3 of our people still want to continue in the ways of Esau, man. But he's been made bare, man. And like I said, the elect has seen him for who he really is. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed. See that? He is revealed to us who he really is, man, the wicked. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And that's what the prophets I heard prophesying. The downfall of our enemies, the wicked. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. You see, the Lord is going to destroy them when he returns, man. So he is propped up for a great destruction, man, just like the Lord did Pharaoh, propped him up. So we would think that in his pride that he will overcome the wrath of the Lord until the Lord came with that wrath. This is Jeremiah 23 and 24. Because no one is able to hide, not even us. Every time we did something wicked, the Lord punished us right away. But the Lord let Esau build up his wickedness for him to get judged all at the same time, man. This is Jeremiah 23 and 24. It says, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? See that? Because can anyone? Said Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, do not I feel heaven and earth, said Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. No one can get out of the eyes of the Lord. You're not doing something wicked and the Lord not seeing you. You're just not judged right away. And see, the Lord loved us, and that's why we are judged right away, man. And the scriptures tell you that the Lord chastens who he loves. This is Proverbs 15 and verse 3. The eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah are in every place. See that? Beholding the evil and the good. You can't escape the eyes of the Lord, man. And the scripture tell you, was it an apocrypha? I forgot how it go. Um, I might. I'm gonna see if the spirit hit me with it. It slipped my mind, but I know it's in the Apocrypha about the eyes of the Lord, 10 times brighter than the sun. Let me see if I can find that. Ten thousand times. There you go. Real quick, Ecclesiasticus Sirach 23:19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men. See that? That's what Esau, he feels like the Lord is not looking down. He only feared the eyes of men. So he does stuff to basically, like he did, like DT is doing for the people. He doing this for the eyes of men, not thinking there's great consequences on what he's doing in the earth. Such a man only feared the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are 10 times and 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And the sun, you can't even look at the sun, man. Behold all the ways of men. It said, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret part. See, the Lord is not letting you do anything without him seeing it, man. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. You're not getting away with anything that's contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, to the ways of the Lord, man. Again, Proverbs 15:3, it says, the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So Esau's been getting away with for so long, man. He's been getting away with all the wickedness for so long that he feels like he is not going to ever come into the eyes of the Lord, man. He got his feet kicked up, thinking the Lord is not looking at anything he's doing. The angels are not monitoring nothing. But the Lord got him in a great trick bag, man, a great snare. This is Job 34, and I'm going to start at verse 20 in the NLT. It says, in a moment they die, in the middle of the night they pass away. See, the time he's coming, he's going to pass away like a thief in the night, man. The Lord's coming like a thief in the night. He's going to pass away that same time, man. His rulership, because we know he has 1,000 years to be in captivity before he is exterminated. But the Lord is going to take him out of power like a thief in the night. He's going to go away like he never ruled before, man. That quick, boom, 1 hour, he's through. In a moment they die. In the middle of the night they pass away. The mighty are removed without human hand. See that? The mighty are removed without human hand. This is all the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. For power watches how people live. He sees everything they do. So no one that did anything that afflicted us in any kind of way has got away with it. It's a day of reckoning coming, man. It says, no darkness is thick enough to hide the wicked from his eyes. Esau didn't get away, man. They don't see, it's like they don't set the time. See, we don't set the time. I misspoke. We do not set the time, so no one can tell you that I'm going to rule forever. Esau is going to be in power forever. That's his mindset. They're clearly telling you we don't set the time when we will come before power in judgment. See that? We don't set the time before we come to the judgment for the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He brings the mighty to ruin without asking anyone. See that? This is what's going to happen to Esau, man. He's going to be brought to ruin in an hour. In 1 hour, he's going to be coming to ruin. Everything he created, everything he gained, everything he took is going to come to ruin. He says, he brings the mighty to ruin without asking anyone, and he sets up others in their place. And that's true. Because soon as Esau comes out of power, the children of Israel are coming in power. In scripture, the second address 6, Jacob is the beginning of the world that followed, man. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, man. 25, it says, he knows what they do. See, the Lord is not letting anything escape. Whatever you do, you're going to get judged for it, man. Nothing is escaping the eyes of the Lord. He says he knows what they do. And in the night, he overturns and destroys them. He strikes them down because they are wicked. See that? This is why Esau is going to be taken down, because he is wicked. He strikes them down because they are wicked, doing it openly for all to see. See that? He's doing it openly for all to see. And everyone is going to know that this is the hand of the Lord that took Esau out of power, man. For they turn away from following him. For they turned away from following him. They have no respect for any of his ways. See, the wicked have no respect of the ways of the Lord, man. They cause the poor to cry out, catching power's attention. See that? In the poor's crying out, that's the hopeful elect of the Lord, man. Crying out to the Lord. And it's caught the attention of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because the elect prayers are piercing the clouds, man. He hears the cries of the needy, but if he chooses to remain silent, who can criticize him? When he hides his face, no one can find him, whether an individual or a nation. He prevents the godless from ruling, so they cannot be a snare to the people. And see, Esau is a snare to the people, man. Our people are following after the wickedness of Esau Edom, man. But now the Lord is going to take him out of power and put his son, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, in his place, man, as well as the Israelites, the hopeful elect. So I'm in it there, Lord, widows edifying. Shalom, shalom.